Hi, and welcome to the AzTech International podcast. I'm your host today, Austin Fernley. I'm the Director of Technical Operations here at AzTech International, and today we're going to be introducing a new series, GovAI, where we're going to be diving into how AI and project management work together. Our first episode of the GovAI series is how AI is changing project management. Today, I'm joined by Louis Contreras, the President and Chief Architect here at AzTech International, where we aim to make the complex simple. Louis, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Austin. I'm excited to be here.
So, why does AI even matter in project management?
Well, AI is a tool, just like any other tool. And now that it's here, we need to make the best of it, make the most of it. So it's absolutely essential. And I think it's going to be a transformative technology, not just in project management, but in all industries.
Okay. I guess, what do you think the current state of AI is, not necessarily in the world at large, but very specifically in regards to project management? What's happening right now in the industry?
That's a great question. I would say that currently the industry is where I would call it AI driven. Okay, what I mean by that, or you could also say assisted intelligence. That's where we are in the evolution of AI in project management. What I mean by that is we have applications and things that we're doing in project management that are influenced by AI, and we use it as a tool to do things better, do things faster, streamline how we do things, even analysis and so forth. But it's not necessarily AI that is fully built in or incorporated into our tools or the way that we do things. Okay, so I think we're in the AI driven stage right now.
I see. Can you give me a quick example of AI driven?
Yeah,
What
AI
you mean
driven
by
would
that a little
be
bit?
AI driven. A great example is coding. Any development work that anyone's doing, including a company like AzTech,
Mm,
our developers are using AI to write better code, to write code faster. So
mm,
there's tools
mm.
like Codium. So that's what I would say is AI driven. We're using tools that help us do things faster,
I
as opposed
see.
to that it's literally built into the tools that we're developing.
Okay. Um, how do you think AI would help project managers specifically then?
Um, I think any project manager, control account manager, planner, uh, or EV analyst, any PM professional should absolutely be using AI. What the current apps that are out there, and
Mm,
there's at least a half a dozen, and I'll just mention a couple. ChatGPT, if you use Copilot for Microsoft, there's Claude and Gemini. Okay, those are a few examples. So these are large language models. Uh, and using those, you can already ask it questions. You can ask it for advice. You could ask it for ideas. You could ask it to write memos for you, or to create an RFP, or to respond to an RFP, things like that. So they're really helpful tools that everyone can use today, right now.
mm. For risk management, what do you think AI could do in the realm of risk management?
Well, I've always said that earned value is a subset of risk management. Some people
Okay.
think of it the opposite way, that earned value management has a risk management component. But I think both are
Right.
true. But basically, in all of earned value and project management, we're managing scope, schedule, and cost risk, right? So anything
Mm,
we can do with AI to help us do that faster with fewer resources is a huge advantage for us. So
right.
that, yeah,
Speed is the key.
speed and resources.
Okay. Um, for policy and governance, we have an industry that requires a lot of regulation. There's a lot of fine detail involved. How do you think AI is going to impact that that element?
Uh, Another good question, Austin. You've done your homework here. Um, I break it down into two things. We use an approach we call performance driven compliance. So
Mhm.
performance is one essential thing that everyone's after, right? The government and industry. Compliance is another one that government is particularly concerned about, but industry is as well, because they want to have an earned value management system that's compliant, but they want to do things that are compliant, right?
Mm,
So performance and compliance are the two key things that both sides want. And I would call compliance, I would use the word oversight is one way to look at it. So anything we could
Oversight.
do
Okay.
to make oversight go faster, to streamline it, to automate it, and to do it with fewer resources and in a shorter time is
Hmm.
hugely advantageous to the government and to industry for that matter. On the performance side, I would use the word insights. So everybody wants to get some new insights into their data. We're always trying to find insights. Why are we overrun? Why are we delayed? Are we going to overrun? Are we going to overrun more than we thought we were? So
Hmm.
those are what are the trends telling us? What does past performance tell us in our portfolio of projects? So those are insights. So AI can help with both of those, with both oversight and insights. I think the insight part is coming more later, I would say, but oversight is here today, where we can use it to assess data faster and to write reports quicker and get you the whole compliance area of project management with fewer resources and in shorter time.
It sounds like speed is the key here, right? Really, AI is giving us a lot of speed benefit. One of the things that we used to use for insight was Power BI, right? Power BI, you could load data into it, you could have a bunch of different slicers, you could get cool visual representations of your data, and then you as the human could just see, oh, hey, there's this relationship here, and you could investigate that. And Power
Mhm.
BI was a way to unveil, let's say, different metrics that wasn't obvious to people beforehand. So Power BI was definitely like that. But you would have to build it. You would have to build some Power BI dashboard. You'd have to integrate the data. There's definitely some
Mhm.
setup involved. What do you think AI will do that's like that? Do you think AI will perform better? Do you think it'll perform worse? How do you see that into the future?
Yeah, I think the future of AI is going to be, when we talk about a large language model, language
Mm,
is the key word there. And then the ability to use natural language is the other part of it. So
right.
right now, for example, with most of our tools, including Power BI, there's not a great ability to either just say something like, show me the top 5 drivers that are causing our schedule delays, or even typing it out, not quite there yet. If it is, it's going to be rule-based or algorithm-based
Mhm.
type of what I was calling AI assist or artificial assisted intelligence. Excuse me. I would call that
Assisted
assisted
intelligence, right?
intelligence. But imagine if you could have a meeting and you ask questions. The program manager, the control account manager can just ask a question. What are the 5 drivers, the top 5 drivers for cost? What are some potential corrective actions that we can take?
Mm,
That's where the real power is going to come.
that would be huge, yeah. And then you wouldn't need some third-party analyst, like the director could directly ask, like, hey, what is, this situation? What are the top 5 drivers? And you could get the answer right away, and
Exactly, and
that would be
really
huge.
the real use case there is, imagine right now, as we all know, a lot of project management is reports
Mm,
and views and filters and drill downs and dashboards. But imagine being able to just talk to it and just say, "Show me this," and not
mm,
having to have pre-built all of these different filters and such.
right. Okay. If I were a PM right now and I was interested in adopting some AI into my workflow, I mean, you hear it everywhere, right? Every
Mhm,
every meeting you go to, every news article you read, us right now, right? All you hear
mhm.
is people talking about AI. How do I actually start using it to make my life better right now, like this second?
Okay, yeah, that great examples I could think of right off the bat are, and I'm going to bucket these into 2 different categories, okay? Because I
Okay.
think this is probably in folks that are listening right now that maybe are already thinking of this is I have very sensitive data that I work with,
Right,
and
exactly.
I need to be very careful where that data stays secure, right?
Mhm,
So let's talk about the unclassified or unsecured world of data or information. That's something that PMs and CAMs can do today. You can
mhm,
already start asking, say, ChatGPT for ideas. Uh, we've got some overruns in our software project without having said anything specific about your project. what are some potential typical reasons that we overrun on a software project? And tell me some specific, some concrete corrective actions that we might take when we have software overruns. And now it gives you some ideas. Now you could have done those before, and you could have taken the time, and your CAMs, your control account managers might have done this, but now you can do it so much faster, but you're not really revealing any data. You're not really revealing any specific information about your project. So I think that's a really simple use case that you can do today. And when I said insights, I should have included ideas there. Okay, so because I think ChatGPT or any of these large language models are fantastic idea generators, and
Yeah.
definitely use that today, without a doubt.
Oh, that's
The,
excellent. I mean, you know,
yeah,
in my own personal use of things like ChatGPT, I mean, one of the big benefits that I've found is it gets me unstuck in any sort of creative situation. If I'm writing something or I need to put some documentation together, and what do I put next? And you just have a conversation with it. And even though it might not give you exactly what you want, it gets you unstuck immediately. Like the
yeah.
productivity is really high with it. I'm really enjoying
So
it.
totally agree. I'm kind of smiling on that topic, Austin, because some people maybe procrastinate sometimes, and I can't imagine anyone that in this conversation. But like you said, AI can really help you get off the dime, right? Just
Yeah,
get you started.
exactly.
Like, create a draft for this memo I need to write, and just get it out there, and then you can start iterating it. So I think you're right. It's really great for just getting started.
You mentioned two buckets of data. One of them is unclassified, other is classified, maybe secret or sensitive
Mhm.
data. What would you say to those people as far as
Um,
AI?
I think that a lot of folks right now are working on how do we make AI secured, right?
Mm,
In the on the technology front. So I would say right now that it's a legitimate concern to be worried about where your data is going. If you're writing a prompt, and if you pasted something, let's just say from a statement of work or for something to do with your actual project data, you probably don't want that going out into the
right.
the internet. So that's a legitimate concern. So in that area, there are things in the works right now that would automate that and secure that, so that you could have your AI application or model working, say, within your intranet and with the secured firewalls and so forth. So
Mhm,
without getting into technical details, but that would allow you to then ingest data that is more sensitive, like project data, scope of work data, variance analysis, things like that,
I
without
see.
fear of the security issues.
I see. But it sounds like there's maybe a setup involved. Maybe there's kind of a heavy lift at the beginning of that. If I were dealing with secret data, I would have to get maybe some infrastructure put together. I'd have to have my own custom LLM, something like that. Is that kind of what you're talking about, or?
Yeah, those are the things I'm talking about. And like I said, there's folks working on this. We're working on it, in fact, with some of our
Right.
customers. It is an
Mm,
area that it's obviously a lot of concern, and it doesn't have to be secret. It's just sensitive information, right?
sensitive. That's
Yeah,
right.
sensitive. Everything we work with, I would say, is sensitive. Okay,
Mm,
so we're always concerned about not exposing it to someone that doesn't have a need to know. There is a new or new-ish area of AI that you may not have heard of, or folks may not have heard of, that's called RAG.
mm,
That's also an acronym for red, amber, green. So when we deal with metrics, it's about stoplight colors, right? About
right.
analysis, but it also means, and I always have to look at it. So if anybody worries that they don't know some of these terms, don't worry. We have an EV and AI gold card that tries to describe these in simple ways. But RAG or RAG is retrieval assisted generation. Okay,
Mm,
and what that is about is sorry, I just scooped on that. It's retrieval augmented generation.
I
Okay,
see.
so what that is basically, I'll try to put this in simple terms. It's you take your data, let's just say it's schedule data, cost data, some narrative data. And so imagine Word, Excel, Microsoft Project, different types of data, and you package it all into a database. I believe they call it a vector database. Okay, so it's a data. Think of it as a zip file. Okay, so
Mm,
now your AI can go in and read that zip file And it can pull, now when you ask it questions, it's actually looking at your real data. So that's where I see the next step in the evolution of PM and EV will be to be able to have our data very secure, and we're tapping into it to get true insights from the real data. And that's when it will become, tremendously powerful.
Okay. If I were somebody who is maybe fearful or more to the point skeptical about AI. I mean, you hear things about hallucinations, right?
Mhm.
You hear all the stories about how AI can't answer simple questions like how many R's are in strawberry,
Yeah.
or it made up a fake legal case, right? What so if somebody is skeptical about AI, what would you say to somebody like that? What are your thoughts on that?
My initial thought is, because it is just a tool,
Yeah.
tools can make mistakes, right? A software by inherently can have bugs.
Mm,
Hallucination is real when it comes to AI.
mm,
So everything that you do with AI, from the most simple use case to the most advanced, you have to add the human element into that. And that's
mm,
one reason why I do believe that the fear of AI taking over our jobs, it may be true in some areas and it may be true in some future, but today and in the very near term, I believe that it will just help us do things faster and smarter. And you will always need to double check that work, right? So it might help you draft a corrective
right.
action plan or an assessment for a compliance review very quickly, but you will be double checking that it is in fact correct, and you will be
Mm,
checking the resources. And I think that part is not going away. In fact, we will have to be ever more vigilant on that. And then there's also ethical concerns that when we use AI, we should probably disclose that to our readers or users of that data, so that
mm.
they know that we did that as well.
I see. I see. Well, that was excellent. I'd like to get a little bit of final thoughts from you. What do you wish AI to be in the project management world? If you could wave a wand and you could
Mhm.
have what we hope to aspire to, what do you think that would be?
Um, I think it's going to be a what do they call it? A force multiplier
Mm,
effect. So where before we feared, oh, it's going to take away our jobs, and what's going to happen when we automate everything. Imagine instead that if we could only manage a portfolio of 10 projects today, what if we could manage a portfolio of 15 projects?
mm,
And wouldn't that be amazing? What if we could do that because now we can do it with less time, we can do things quicker, we could streamline things, we can automate things. What if we could spend our time doing a high level analysis and not the nitnoid administrivia type of analysis that a lot of us live with in the project
right.
management world, right? So that's the world I envision, that it's going to actually make us so much more productive that we can actually tackle more projects and tackle them quicker.
All right. Well, Louis, thank you for talking with me today. We discussed
Thank
how
you.
AI is changing project management. So this concludes our first episode of the GovAI series. But be sure to tune into the next episode of our GovAI series, AI and Risk Management. You can follow our campaign through LinkedIn or our mailer, where we unpack changing technology in order to make the complex simple. Some of the things that we've already done to make the complex simple is our EV and AI Gold Card, which you mentioned a few times. It's an infographic that gives you a quick outline of the different implementations of AI and other use cases. So if you've got a problem, what is the right AI level of complexity to solve that problem, right? Also, if you're looking for a little more information, we've written a blog on the matter called AI in an EV World. You can check that out on our website. Go to www.goaztech.com. That's www.goaztech.com. Thank you again to our guest, Louis Contreras, for taking some time to speak with us. And we look forward to seeing you next time on our GovAI series.
Thank you, Austin. Bye, everyone.
Take care.